Chapter 4.2, adding and subtracting polynomials. So now we are going to work on combining like terms. When a monomial doesn't have a written numerical coefficient, remember that coefficient is 1. We would never write a 1 in this case, but it's understood that there is a coefficient of 1 for that term. So when we have these, my advice is always to, you see that they group them with like terms. I'm just going to rewrite this in standard form. I'm going to write them in descending order based upon their exponent. And that's going to make it a whole lot easier to combine like terms. So I have those. We're going to combine their coefficients. These are like terms because they have the same variable to the same exponent. When we have like terms, we combine their coefficients. So that's 2x to the third. These are also like terms. Coefficient of 1 there, so that's plus 3x squared. And the constant doesn't have a partner. So you see that that's what I do, that's what they do, come out with the same answer. So standard form, x's are always going to come before y's. So you have 2x plus 3x minus y minus 2y. These are like terms, we'll make that 5x. These are like terms, that's negative 3y. M's are going to come before n's. So we'll write it in standard form. We'll combine these two like terms, and then we'll combine these like terms. Whoa. And the nice thing about putting them in standard form is your answer, your answer will be already in standard form because I've already ordered them. 2x squared, that's plus 4x minus 2. So my answer is already in standard form because I placed it in standard form. All are n's, so it's the same variable, but now we have to be aware of the exponent. So the higher the exponent goes first. So n squared minus 5n squared plus 6n squared minus 3n plus 7n. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. And that's how you can check. Just make sure you have the same number of terms after you rewrite it. Then when you write it, we're going to combine these three coefficients. 1, negative 5, and positive 6 gives me 2n squared. Negative 3 and positive 7 gives me positive 4n. Nice and easy. A squared is going to come before a. So these are going to come first. Now I have a, b. And the reason why ab comes next is because, not because of the b, because of the a. I look at the first variable. My first variable is a. My first variable is a. So they're the same. Now I have to go to the tiebreaker, which is the exponent. So this is going to come before this. A to the second is always going to come before a to the first. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Sorry. So these are like terms. We get 5a squared minus 3ab. X squared is going to come before y cubed. So x squared y minus 8x squared y. And then negative y to the third plus 5y to the third. Even though y has a bigger exponent, I look at my first variable. X is always going to come before any power of a 3. So we're going to combine these like terms. That gives me negative 7x squared y. And this is going to give me plus 4y cubed. X squared is always going to come before y cubed. We've got 5a cubed. Then we have a squared b. And we have negative 3a squared b. And then we have negative 2ab squared. A to the third, a to the second, A. Notice I never talked about the B's because we're always going to do the first variable, and that's going to be my determinant. No like terms, so 5a cubed. You have a squared b, which is negative 2a squared b, and then this doesn't have a partner either. So those are unlike terms. We cannot combine any of those. That will be my final answer. So we got x to the third. We have x to the second. So positive 5x to the second y, negative 2x to the second y. Now we have, oh, I had 2x to the third, sorry. Let's move that, sorry, good. So because I checked it off, I was able to notice that I had forgotten one. And now we have negative 6xy squared plus xy squared. These are like terms, that gives me 2x cubed. These are like terms, that gives me positive 3x squared y. These are like terms, that gives me negative 5xy squared. And these are easy because I'm only combining their coefficients. I'm only focused, not text pen, I'm only focused with the coefficient. 3 and negative 1 gives me 2. I'm only focused on the coefficient. Positive 5 and negative 2 gives me positive 3. I'm only focused on the coefficients. That's negative 5. So that's how I'm doing those. All right, add. So they're telling us to add. We've got them written in this format, and then we have them in the column stacked format. So you're going to see, so these are columns. These are like terms. So we check to make sure that they're like terms. And these are like terms. So if we're going to add them, we're going to combine those. 3a and 4a makes 7a. Negative 1 and positive 3 makes positive 2. That gives me 2n minus 3. And it's that easy, that fast. These are going to cancel, and this is going to be 3y. That's 2n plus 3p. MNOP, so those are in standard form. That's 2x, that's 2y, and plus 10. Standard form. 5a minus 4b plus 2. Adding, we're just combining. That's 8x squared, that's minus 2x, that's minus 3. Not in standard form here. So you have 2, you have negative n, you have minus 8n squared. Hi there, how are you? But you got to remember that they need to be put in standard form. Thank you. So let's put it in standard form. Negative 8n squared minus n plus 2 leaves us with that. So just make sure you can add them and combine them as long as those are like terms, like terms, like terms. Doesn't matter how you combine them, but your final answer needs to be in standard form. That's going to be 3c squared plus 3cd minus 7d squared. That's standard form. C squared before c, and d squared. This c is always going to come before any d. Even though it has a d after it, it's always based upon our first variable in the term. That's 4a squared plus 3ab minus b squared. 5x, that's plus 2y. That's going to be minus 7z plus 4. Okay, x, y, z, constant. That is 8a. That is minus 3b plus c plus 8. Yeah. All right, now it says subtract. So subtracting. So this is tough. So we're going to subtract the lower from, so if we subtract it, we're sort of saying this. So this is really 3a minus 1 minus 4a minus 3. And then I'm going to combine them. So I get negative a minus 4. It's not the easiest way. I don't like this. You really rarely find this. But we're going to do it in this fashion because I feel like it's easier. 6n plus 7. This is how I would do the work in the problem. So I would rewrite with that negative going into there, so it's going to change all of the signs inside there. So that's 2x minus 6y. And then I'm going to combine them. I'm going to add them, and that's negative 9y. So if we subtract that, each of the signs in the bottom one is going to change. Negative 3n is now positive 3n. Positive 5p is negative 5p. And that's 8n plus minus 7p. I feel like that's the easiest way to do these problems, is you take a second to rewrite it and just make so much easier. 6x minus 12y minus 4. That to me seems a whole lot easier, more concrete in the sense. So I can see it and I see what the solution is going to be. Right? Look how fast I can do that. 6x squared minus 3x plus 2 minus 2x squared minus x plus 5, and now it becomes addition because I distributed out that negative. And that gives me 4x squared minus 4x plus 7. Even though it's not in standard form, I can still do the work. Minus n plus 2n squared. So that's 8 minus 3n minus 4n squared. And now I just rewrite it in standard form. So we get 4c squared minus 3cd minus 5d squared plus c squared minus 6cd plus 2d squared. That's 5c squared minus 9cd minus 3d squared. Right? I mean, this is fast. You're doing it in 20 seconds. 6a squared minus 2ab. That becomes positive 2a squared. That becomes negative 5ab plus b squared that doesn't have a partner. 8a squared minus 7ab plus b squared. And that is standard form. Cool. Good. I'll be honest with you. You're not going to see problems that are stacked like that. They will typically be in this format. It'll look like this. So notice they distribute by changing each of the signs in here, and then they combine like terms. So that's typically how you're going to see it.